live with some more energy. I don't even know what it is. What is it? I mean, there's a lot going on out there. Really, strategically speaking, there's plenty of planets in the sky. Which one is really pouring its love on us? Really? God, that doesn't look like rain. Just kidding. What's up, everyone? I am the goddess of the moon, the hostess with the mostest, the high priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer and teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. So where are we at? I don't know. I just came back from watching a movie. I was sitting in my car for apparently a whole movie. And then I just got up and walked into some energy, and I figured we'd see what the energy is. What movie did you watch? The Queen of Chess. That was awesome. Really? I like to play chess, but I'm not putting my head into it. It's probably why my kid beats me all the time. Oh, that's great stuff. Great stuff. Anyways, what are we gonna do? I don't know. I guess if we're gonna pull it this late, by the time I pull the cards, they're only confirmation to the bullshit. What bullshit? I don't know. I already went through my day. It was weird. It was, we're going through Fortuna, which is highs and lows. I guess I should read about that. See, I had the tarot in my hand, but I was like, I guess we should do a teaching on Fortuna. Fortuna is an energy. It's a stage. It's a person, or it's an entity. It's whatever. It's an energy, bro. Like everything is. Christ is an energy. He's not a person, place, or thing. He's an energy. Let's see. Well, I mean, it's about teaching you acceptance. That's the black arts. We're not going to go in there and get anything out of there. I mean, we could, but it's when I bought this book, I thought there was something scary in there until I got all the way through the book. I was like, there's nothing in there. Really? People ask me, what's the scariest thing you have? So far, Santa Muerte. Really? So far. And that's just because I don't know what I'm dealing with. Everything else, I have a full knowing. Really? What is it? I don't know. I haven't got into it. You want to get into it? Let's not push that. Let's wait till we know what we're doing before we start doing shit we don't know what we're doing. Don't you think is a good idea? Very keen as swords of us, logically speaking. My good hand is itching. Really? About to be blessed. About to be blessed. Bring it on. Shake my hand. Hey, I said something earlier. I said, I'm seeing that will. I said Bob Saget, but I meant Bob Barker. Really? Mm-hmm. Names. I struggle with names. Memories are something else. All right, let's see. What am I going to teach you? About a stage of the Dark Night of the Soul. I taught you about Ceridwen, but we're going to have to go back a couple chapters, and now we went from Ceridwen, which was inspiration, only to go in and face Fortuna, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Really? I don't play around with her. She'd be fucking around. There's nothing you can do. You just accept the way what's happening. You cannot do anything. Oh, it wasn't Fortuna that he got stuck in. It was Famanach. I'm talking about Russ. Where are you at, Russ? Russ the bus. Nice and quiet like you should be. Fortuna. Fate. Really? I can read about the fates in all of my books. But where does this apply to you? It applies in the dark night of your soul. Why? Because we're going through the transformation. Dun, dun, dun. All right, went to Medea, which is lies and deception. That's nice. Get out of my face. Gosh. Why do people lie? Because they're scared of the truth. There's been so many times in my life where I've been asked a question and I know I should lie. I know that if I, you know what I mean? I just know it's safer to lie. But I don't. All right, I'm going to read this out of the Oracle book, and then I'm going to read it out of the book so you can learn to have some acceptance. Acceptance is a huge key in your growth. There's only so much, and that goes back to the Four of Pentacles. You really can't control much. No, you can't control the sea. You can't control the air. You can't control your children. You can't. But you seek control of all things. So this is an extremely important stage to just let go. That's that Fight Club. Let go. If we're meant to die, we're meant to die. Are you meant to die today? No, I don't think so. And ultimately, things just come and go, and there's just like you're just devastated. How could this happen? It just things happen. That's called fate. Really, it's not about destiny. Really, it's a sequence of unforeseen events that can hit anybody at any time. Really, fate plays, but it doesn't take favoritism. It's not like, you know what I mean, like the scales tip on your favor. That's not how that really works. All right, let's see. Enslaved in Rota Fortunae, brought down, thrown up high. Circle of life offers a new slate. Choices made now seal your fate. By the power of the dark goddess in me, blessed be. Hey, bro. It's on page 40 and 40. Wonderful. Should you stay or should you go? Should you tell or not? Spend the money or save it? It's as if all your decision making skills are based on the toss of a coin at the moment. Taking risks has served you well in the past, but your run for good luck may desert you if you don't apply a bit of common sense. Gambling your life away, so to speak, might be fine if you just. I'm seeing Wolfman. Come on. Okay, moving on. Gambling your wife away, so to speak, might be fine if it's just you that the outcome affects, but seldom that is the case. The choices you need to make in life will either put you on a firm, fruitful footing or lead you astray. Really? Yeah. You need to like stay focused. Let's see. Fortuna is Lady Luck personified. She straddles the fine line between the prosperous and the barren, with the wheel of fortune weighing heavily around your neck, for that is her job. It is not yours today. So consider that you could win or lose in the upcoming choices you must make and leave nothing to chance. Really? Dark Goddess Foresight. Stop spending money like it's water. Check. Don't fight what you cannot change. Check. Look before you leap. Check. Find out more about a person you are getting close to. Don't listen to gossip. Go to the source. Your luck is set to change. Ride out the storm. As things are looking calmer ahead, go with a hunch. Um, that's the cool thing about fate is it has no favors. It just rolls. It just rolls. The rolls, and it's funny again. I had touched the it's actually Famanach that has to do with the butterflies. But back there, another thing that I have is the dice, a roll of the dice. You see it in there? There's a couple of different things that's off the gods, really? Emblems. And that's what that is too. Is you can't always win and you can't always lose. That should be a comforting thought. All right, the of Roman origin, Fortuna was the goddess of chance, regarded as the bearer of prosperity and abundance. As such, she resembles a fertility deity, hence her association with bounty of soil and fruitfulness of women. Frequently, she was an oracle goddess consulted in various ways regarding the future. Really? Okay. That doesn't tell you much, but in the Dark Night of the Soul, this is a whole fucking journey. It's actually part of the beginning, is the goddess calling you. First, you start with Gaia, which is down to earth. Then we go into Fortuna right away. Really? What does she teach you? The initiation of change and loss. Looking back at time, I can tell you that this is exactly that time. It happens around this time, springtime. Really? You're springing into action, but again, you've got to wither and finish all of this. And that's what it is. Going back to it, I said that this morning. Dude, God hit me hard, and it's bullshit. So they're like, all right, tell me how much you have together so I can send it. They want a quote. They need to know how much shit you have. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get up here and I put it all together. I have 7 boxes and almost 12 regular trash bag size of shit. And when I sit there and I put that, I'm about to type that, I'm like, this is unreal. And God said, get rid of it. Get rid of it. I'm going to give you new stuff. I'm like, damn. Why didn't I fucking get rid of it the first day? And that's what I told Jazz. I was like, Jazz, I swear to God, dude, I felt it as soon as I was going to make the first move. Just get rid of all this shit. You're moving into a new house. You don't need all this shit. No, I went through all this. I didn't listen to my fucking instincts. That's why this keeps happening. Really? I'm still carrying the old shit that I wasn't supposed to, but I was holding on to it like it was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to have anything else. And this is all I have. And this is so fucking important because this is all I have. Really? I went through all the measure to keep the little bit of shit that I had, to drag it and make it such a fucking problem. If I would have just got, and that's what I said this morning, I feel like just burning this shit. So that I'm standing there with all of my belongings that I've spent all this time to keep clean, just to give to someone else to clean and to, turn around and pack this all up and move it somewhere else. And God said, get rid of it. And I'm like, here we are again, God. Really? As hard as as difficult as a decision it is, it's not, because I've had to make this decision a billion times. We started on this decision. Get rid of this life and I will give you a new life. I've taught people forever that in order to have something, you need to create space for something. So as you can see, I'm very content. I say it all the time. I have everything I need because I worked hard at, collecting the shit I need. I don't need nothing. So I don't manifest anything because I don't need anything. I've got shoes. I've got clothes. I've got this. I've got that. I don't need anything. God says, get rid of it all. Why? So we can manifest all new shit. And I'm like, well, at this point when I don't want to pack all this up and I don't want to do all this, it makes perfect sense. So what have I decided? To get rid of it all. I didn't get rid of it just this minute because I'm using the blankets and the pillows and all of that for my daughter, but I'm getting rid of all of that. I'm only going to keep the buckets of our clothes, which would be 7 buckets. Why do you have so many buckets? I don't know. Even then, it's not fair. You don't understand. My daughter has 1 bucket of pants and 1 bucket of shirts. You know what I mean? We don't have many, so don't ask us to take away the little bit shit we do have. We need some clothes wherever we're going. Unless, the lotto hits tonight and then we burn all this shit and we dance around the fucking fire naked, celebrating. Realistically, at that point, go fuck yourself. I'm out of here, bro. I'm gonna act a whole fucking fool. Really? Seriously, and that's where it is God's telling you. Something so simplistic, and it goes back to you, Wolfman, saying that bullshit. The download had nothing to do with that. I forgot about the download. I just got about you. But that's it. It's like, if you want to give up all your material belongings and go, live in scraps. I gave up all my material belongings to live in scraps because that was what was called. But I'm not supposed to stay in scraps for the rest of my life. And once you get comfortable in scraps, you don't really care. Really? I don't look scrappy. You do. You do. Going back to it, you wear the same 5 shirts all the time. You're so fucking, you know what I mean? I gotta travel light. Well, then get rid of your clothes and buy some new ones. If you're so wealthy, you're so successful on your journeys and you don't spend no money. Going back to it, just saying. The download I got from that was after your goofy ass post this morning or whenever you posted it. You said, "Oh, I'm so financially successful." He said, I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm going to go back home for a couple of months, and then I'm going to hit the road again. Okay. You're going to go back and unwind. That's fine. But then you're going to return back to doing what you always do because you have no new plans for your life. You may be wanting to go to new places, but you're going to be the same you and do the same things in other places. Everywhere I go, I'm the new me. It doesn't matter if you met Lisa before or you met Lucky or anything. You're just now meeting the High Priestess. Everywhere I go is a new experience because I'm a new person. I just wanted to point that out. They said you're repetitive. You're on a cycle of nothing. You're on your motorcycle, your little 1-seater that's going nowhere to the edge of the earth as where you're planning to go. Well, once you go there, Forrest Gump, you're going to have to turn around and come home and face your problems. And it sounds like once you do that, you're going to go run away again. You have no purpose for world travel. You're just trying to do it to show people that you have. But once you get there, you have no intentions or purpose to be there. You're only doing it to tell people that you can. A world traveler doesn't mean that you're culturized. It just means that you have a stamp on your passport. Or I guess on your forehead that says, loser! Move on. Anyways, moving on. I just wanted to point that out. But going back to this is like, you have to learn change and loss. This is a huge stage. learning how to accept change and loss. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly who, but there's a huge death energy out there. People's families and friends are dying right now. You know what I mean? It's just part of it. It happens all the time, but I can feel the energy. I haven't really spoke on it. I don't know if somebody close to me has had a death in the family, and that's what I'm picking up on. Maybe somebody in my own family has died, but I'm picking up on that. And you have to learn how to accept change and loss. So this is a huge stage. Really, things just happen. And then that's the difference. I was like, I told when I went to tell my caseworker, I was like, bro, you have no idea. I was like, have you ever, it's like God asked me to walk away from everything, bro, and I'm right here at the very end, and he wants me to leave the last of my goods. All this stuff that I accumulated, mostly I accumulated on my journey for the last 3 years. It didn't come from my home, but even then, I have a few things: a dress, some pictures. You know what I mean? Some jewelry, some things. I don't use them daily, but they remind me of the old life. I don't carry many momentums. He made me get rid of all of the shit. But even then, and I was like, do you know what it feels like? She's like, dude, I lost all my shit in a house fire. I was like, damn, you know exactly what it feels like. But the difference is, he took your shit away from you. He's asking me to give it up in good faith. Not only that, but you got to understand, I spent all this money to wash all this stuff. This is stuff that means something to me. And he wants me to literally go put it in the garbage, not give it to another person. Go put it in the garbage so that nobody else can have it. And that didn't, at first, I was pretty upset about that, but it made sense. He doesn't want anybody to have our energy. He doesn't want anybody to have our energy. Our energy is all over our stuff because it has our memories, just like I talked about Horcruxes. Really? It'll end up on a trash hoop and it'll just be, burned up or something. Really? Mm-hmm. But I spent all that money to take care of this stuff, and he literally wants me to throw it in the garbage. And he's going to give me brand new shit, which is true. I'm going to get new bedding from, I was going to carry most of this, to be honest, in my car for like, day trips or camping and shit. But again, every time you pull it out, you have a memory to it. So I understand why he wants me to get rid of this. Out of sight is out of mind. Once this stuff is gone, I can lay it to rest. But every time I pull out the shirt or that t-shirt or that blanket, I remember where I was when I wore it or when I used it and stuff like that. We put this emotional attachment on these things that we own. And then they end up owning us, is the saying. And that's very true. It's so hard to let go of something that has no, monetary value, but means the world to you. But then again, we can't take it where we're going, whether it's to our next house or even in death. And that's it too. I was carrying around, I was carrying around my brother's Air Force stuff, his bachelor's degree. I was carrying around all kinds of shit that was just carrying space that I had learned to let go of. And so here I'm almost there. And that's the truth. I know I'm getting taxes. I know I can buy new clothes. I know that we're going to buy new stuff. I don't need to worry about it. So I have the security that I didn't have the first time, where I didn't know. I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from, but I trusted God. This is an extremely difficult lesson to learn, which is acceptance. Really? Let me teach you how a little bit. All right, so to work with this, you're going to need things that are valuable are the Wheel of Fortune, cornucopia, the Lucky Charms. The themes are time, movement, and change. Lessons are unexpected change, loss, indifference to outcomes. Meaning, I hope this would work out, but I guess, and it's not apathy. It's just you've learned not to get it's not even negativity. It's just you're like, well, really? It's hard. All right, so you're going to use green, gold, and silver colors, candles. Crystals are citrine, clear quartz crystal, or green aventine. I have them all over. Really? Other than the clear quartz, but these are Lumerian seed clear quartz crystals that are down here, right there. So that's a clear quartz. It's just not an original clear quartz. Really? I mean, pretty much. But the green aventurine are back there, definitely. And then my citrine I keep up there on my necklaces that I always hang. See, I'm hanging. Mm-hmm. So we always have that. This is during the full and the dark moon. We're going to have a dark moon before our new moon. So that would be the dark moon is on the 16th. The new moon is on the 17th. All right, winter and summer. Money tree. Here's her time. Ready? June 11th till the 24th of June. Okay, well, it's only 3 weeks in June, but this shit'll fuck you up. Really? Fucking Gemini season. All right, message from Fortuna. Choice is but an illusion. Don't you see? Your fate lies in my hands when I spin the wheel. You may feel like the luckiest person alive when it all seems to go your way, but then when a blow strikes you, it feels like the end of the world. And that's what happened this morning. I was fine. And then that shit hit me so hard. It hit me in the gut, and I just fucking, dude, I went in on it. And then all of a sudden, it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Like, it all went away. I didn't have to worry about nothing. Really? I still don't know when they're going to come pick up all my shit. But I was just stressing it. And I was like, I didn't have to worry about nothing. Really? Mm-mm. And then as far as blessings, I got I got an email to come pick up my computer tomorrow. And then I'm supposed to go, there was a minor fix on my application for my apartment that they need me to come fix. Just a minor fix. So I have to do that on Thursday. If you go back to my video, remember, I'm playing the time clock. I need this time clock to weigh out until the 21st. Really? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, definitely. Paul's in jail. Peter's living the good life. That's what we're doing right there. Seriously, I mean, all transparency. I'm not lying about nothing. I might not be telling you the whole truth, but I don't never lie about nothing. That's what I told my daughter this morning. Really? Like, I never lie. I might not tell you the whole truth, but I'm never lying about nothing. Did you listen to what I said? I admitted to some shit. Anyways, that's how it is. So, confirmation to the bullshit, and I got blessed. Oh, and then that was another thing. So then my caseworker says, hey, we can't do the Facebook marketplace shopping for you, but I have some other ideas. I was like, I'm going to try to reach out and try to get you some, some connections with the thrift stores, because, they have beds and they're always brand new beds. I was like, dude, I love the thrift store. She's like, really? She's like, I might have some down at my office. So when I go down there to tell her that, I have 7 boxes and 14 or 12 bags of fucking shit that God just told me to get rid of, I'm not quite sure. She's like, well, here, confirmation. She's like, well, here. And she gives me $50 worth of gift cards to my favorite thrift store. Now, this is for furniture, but at the very moment that God told me to get rid of shit and I'm going to need new shit, here comes a gift card for new shit. Really? It doesn't matter where the shit comes from. Realistically? Nope. And that's it too. And then she's like, well, let's talk about this. And I was like, honestly, I mean, I just have to break it down. I was like, maybe I'll just get the basics and not stress all of that. Really, I'm just annoyed by the whole setup. Really? I was like, I need to just start with scratch as far as the furniture. She's like, well, you need to put the list together. I was like, let me just get through the next 24 hours with whatever's going on with my room, and we'll get back to my house. But right now, no, I need to worry about this. Really? That's it. From one moment to the next. You can't really plan it out because you don't know what's coming around the corner. All right, the message from La Rouge de Fortuna is to be completely indifferent to both victory and defeat. Living by this rule of acceptance masters the inevitable hands of fate. For I can be an unjust and cruel goddess as well as fair and generous. How do you get it to stop? You stop overreacting. I told you this morning when it happened. I was like, this isn't a dark night of the soul. This is a test. How do you get it to stop? Behave yourself. Really? I promise. It's only happening to see how much you misbehave when things don't go your way. Just calm down. Really? Calm it. You have to tell yourself it's out of your hands. And you have to literally let it out of your hands. Because the harder you hold on to it, dude, the harder this becomes. Really? I gotta tell you, bro. Where did I learn the most? Housing and job. God I look back at myself, I'm like, you're so fucking stupid. How didn't you not get this? I didn't know what was happening, you guys. I can look back and give all forgiveness, but he told me to give up my job and give up my house. And he himself would provide me with a new house and a new career. But I didn't listen. Every fucking place I went, other than Mr. Plum's, and that's the truth, I only seem to get it when I'm at Mr. Plum's. It only seems to sink in when I'm at Mr. Plum's. I get the best, and that's why I sit in literal heaven in his garden. It's like it all makes sense there. Like it's like I don't even know what the fuck it is. Realistically, I could tell you what it is, but I mean, whatever. But I didn't get it. So that's what I meant is I was trying to do it. I was trying to control my life still. I was trying to be in control or grasp control or put my life back together when the whole agreement was he was going to give me a new life. So again, I didn't do it in Oklahoma. But as soon as I started to do it in Wisconsin, which was go looking for a job or looking for security, he kicked me out. All right. When I went to the Bay Area, I didn't do it. Right. But when I got back to Colorado, I started to do it again. And I kept patterning. My pattern was not to trust him, but to do it myself because that was my pattern. And I didn't even realize it. And then I'd be on the way to go to work, and the Holy Spirit's like, why are you going to work? Huh? Because this is what I'm supposed to do. Did God tell you to? Do you need money? Why are you doing things on your own again? Real shit, real conversations. They're in the videos. So the real proof is in the pudding is this last summer, the summer of 25. I start fighting my emperor, which is this desire to be in control, this need to be useful. I'm hating this right now, dude. Every time Bobby calls me, I've just quit a job. I'm still homeless. I've got nothing going. I've got to do something. I can't keep looking like this on the outside. I finally give up. And then it starts falling in place. He starts giving me jobs, one after another after another. He takes them, but he gives me them so that I can have a sense of pride, so I can have a sense of community, so I can show that I am smart, so I can you know what I mean, prove myself to others like I really wanted to, but not for long periods of time, and prove myself to myself. And that was it too. How can I remember all this shit? How can I do shit? Like, you know what I mean? Going back to that. So he gave me that. When I stopped looking for a house, he showed me where to go. That's where it is the whole agreement was he'll take care of me. But I kept trying to take care of myself. And that's what made this so much longer. I think, I really do think it would have been a lot longer. I was making it longer. You know what I mean? So he opened the doors in Oklahoma. He gave me a job in housing, right? But then he took the job. And because I couldn't see the job, you know what I mean? I started to get panicked. So I started looking for other jobs, right? I just didn't trust him. He was still blessing me. I just didn't trust him. I was hustling myself. So then the same thing happens. As soon as I get to Colorado, I'm leaving my kids in a tent. Well, I don't have money too. And I'm working every day. Now I'm trying to figure out long term work and a house. I'm doing it again. Then he takes me to Arizona. As soon as I get there, I'm trying to get a job and I'm trying to get into housing. As soon as I get back to Colorado, I have a job appointment and I get on a housing list. I'm trying to do this still. I have not learned. That's why I could look at myself like, fuck, but I didn't understand. And I wasn't going to let go. I can look back and see where I was in my mind when I was not listening to God. Were you in a fearful place? No, I was in a pattern place. The kids saw it today. It was a perfect example. I told out of nowhere, it got cold today. It was not that cold, but the fucking cold air came in and it was freezing. My daughter's like, it's so cold. I was like, I know, I should pick up CJ. He ain't got no fucking jacket. So I made the trip. I decided I was going to pick him up and go get something to eat. I told her before we went, I sent him a text. I went to pick him up. I turned the car around and I'm driving, and just subconsciously, I drive myself back to the house. And she's like, Mom, I thought you said you were going to need something to eat. I was like, thank you. I was like, did you see what happened? That's called patterning. It has nothing to do with my memory. It's that the brain turns off and it just takes over and it's going to do what you always do. I'm driving down this street, in my 6'4". Thanks, easy. Easy, take it easy. I'm driving down the street and subconsciously the pattern says it just knows this when I'm on this street, I always make a left to go home. So it just does it. It's called patterning. Really? It happened today. I just said I'm going somewhere, but then I went past my drive and turned in. I didn't even think about it until you stopped me in the middle of my pattern. I was like, well, at least you stopped me. I would have pulled into the parking spot and said, fuck, what am I doing? She stopped me before it because when you're in a pattern, it's just subconscious patterning. You're not even thinking. No, it's just an autopilot. So I can look back at that and see this. And that's where it is. I'm not saying God's talking to you in the same way and he told you any of that same shit, but he will ask you and you will be able to lean on him the same way. I'm here to show you. He will ask you to give up things and he will ask you to trust him, and especially with the material world. The quicker you realize that he runs the material world, the quicker you can have a lot more peace. What gives me peace is me not hustling like you guys. I don't worry and stress anymore. It's not my world, it's his. And he's going to make sure that I am provided for. Meaning, not everything's given. I got to work hard for it, but he's going to provide a way and the will for me to get things done. You know what I mean? There's not just going to be a magical plate of food along the road, but I'm going to find that the ingredients along the road and a perfect place to build this fire when the time is right. And that's what that means. It's like he might only give you, you're walking down the street and you get a potato, and then you find some carrots. He's building you up for a meal. And that's where it is little steps of blind faith. Yeah. I just want to tell you that. It's like, how do you make it stop? Surrender. That's how I made it stop every time. That's what made me leave Colorado, bro. I was so tired of stressing. I was waking up every morning trying so hard to be faithful, but I couldn't fight my mind. Call it the poverty mindset, because that's what they call it is that my mind was desperate. It was desperate to get the things that I needed, and it would not trust God. And I would wake up and I would cry. I would sit there with a candlelight crying, trying to calm it down and tell it that God's got me. It got so bad where I couldn't win, so I'd have to go out and hustle. I couldn't trust God. I'd have to do it on my own, which in essence would just make life hard for me. He'd let me, but then I ended up on tears. I'm so tired. God, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I don't know how to do this without you. All right, give it up. What? Give it up and go to Oklahoma. Are you serious, God? Please don't make me do that. What? You asked me for help. I've got an answer. You don't like the answer? Oh, God. And that's it. You want him to have a different answer, but that's the answer. You got to do what he said. And what he said is usually a hit to the pride, bro. He's going to tell you something like, quit school and go back to your parents' house. I'm not fucking going back there. You're not making it here. Go back home. Really? Oh, that hurts. Think about Wolfman. He's been traveling and, he grew up ever since he left the military. And now he's got to go back home. How long do you think he's going to make it? Ooh, you're going to be facing shadows. Really? Oh, yeah. Lovely. You're going to be crawling out of your skin. Can't wait to get out of town. You're a runner. I see myself in you, little man. All right, moving on. Accept the outcome bravely and the indifference, and you'll find that you are soaring through life no matter where you have been placed on the wheel. Acceptance is the key when it comes to harboring your emotions, and it's your emotions and the inner voice that protest about unfairness and injustice that will pull you down. It's like, how could this happen to me? Why is this happening to me? You know what I mean? It's unfair. It's unjust. You just don't get it. The inner child in you just doesn't, you feel absolutely victimized by circumstance. Really? Really? However, it is as I see this, I'm like, that's motherfucking, ooh, that's Lewis. She's had Lewis tied up since 2021. He don't accept it. He's not accepting no for an answer. However, it is I who will tip you upside down and throw you around for a while until you truly understand. My purpose is to remove the scales of preference and entitlement from your eyes. And that's it. You believe that shit like this good things don't happen, bad things don't happen to good people, or this should have never happened to you, and how dare this happen to you. You believed yourself above pain and suffering, heartache, hardship. These are hard lessons. Really? Oh, yeah. I walked straight into him, bro. I walked straight into the pits of hell. I had a book to guide me, and I thought I was completely oblivious to what I was walking into. Probably any idiot with a fucking, you know what I mean, with a Ouija board, something similar to that. But I walked into my training. I knew what they were asking me to do, and I was deathly afraid of it. But I knew that this is what I had to do to be to get to that next level. There's no art. I can sit here and again, I can fuss. I'm looking at the only thing I want is these fucking pillows, bro. I'm not double backing on these pillows. Realistically, yeah. We're gonna wash. It's not like I can't keep all my shit. I could. I can give them the 7 bags, the 12 bags, and the 7 boxes, and they're gonna pay for all of this. It was God that said to get rid of it. Why? Because if I don't have jackets, then when I'm out and about, I'll see something, now I don't have a reason to say no. And then if I sit there and I'm like, God, I don't got no jackets, and that gives me an ability to practice my manifestations more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't buy shoes because I got shoes. Why the fuck do I need so many shoes? I don't get jackets. I don't get anything because I got stuff. If I get rid of all this stuff, then that creates a want, a need, and a desire. And in essence, that's cool. Why? Because I need new stuff from my new house, apparently. He doesn't want me wearing old clothes. Really? Oh, I guess. And that's a good father, don't you think? I wasn't thinking about any of that. No, I was thinking about fucking, I didn't want to do any of this to begin with. Moving on. Beware of all your actions, thoughts, and feelings, and recognize that outcomes are measured by reaction. And that's it. They want to test your reaction time to the bullshit. Told you, it's the same as fucking Kalik. It's endurance. They're going to push you to see how you react, how long it takes you to react, and what your reaction is to the bullshit. Really? All eyes on you. All situation you find yourself in on page 55, accelerated growth and let go, whether high or low, are lessons and experiences you need in order to grow and evolve. If you can accept them and move on with indifference to any emotion that might rear its ugly face at any given circumstance, you find yourself in the flow of the universe, or excuse me, you find yourself in, then the flow of the universe will support you. Competition, jealousy, envy, resentment will continue to accompany you wherever you fall victim to the wheel. Believing that you are a victim of the fates or a slave to negative thinking will keep you forever free falling into despair. Survival will only happen, and that's where you're like, man, I hope this shit doesn't happen again. I hope nothing else is going to happen. Fuck. I hope this is the end of it. No, it's not. You're telling them you can't take it, and they're going to show you can. Careful what you wish for. Really? Believing that you are a victim of the fates or slave to negative thinking will keep you forever free falling in despair. Survival will only happen when you let go of controlling the outcome. The solution is to accept where you are on the wheel and appreciate the journey. It's time to surrender, for your fate is in my hands. Told you, it's all about surrender. The quicker you let go, the quicker you're set free. The only reason it's like handcuffs. Bro, you're in cuffs. Why are you fighting it? Really? Mm-hmm. You learn to have a fuck it attitude. Why? Because you have to. Because it's not worth the emotions. And that's all it is. You get so emotionally upset because you thought it was just a fucking thought. You thought it was going to go this way. And because your thought, your reality was ruined, the emotions that hit you are nearly overwhelming and unacceptable. Really? This is extremely important to understand because even me, is, with all of my, spiritual gifts, I can't control shit. And shit happens. Just like Forrest Gump said, shit happens sometimes. And that's why some people are so much better than others about shit happening. I'm getting this great example. This happens every year. I was a Lyft driver for 4 years solid, right? And I always drove the airports. The airport in Denver is notorious for it, especially during the rain. There's something about lightning. They know something that we don't know. But anytime there is lightning in the sky, they shut down my motherfucking airport. And they will delay the planes until they have no more gas, and then they get fucked off. Okay, so people miss their connections. During the holiday, it's the worst. It's not even having to do with just my airport. It's wherever you're flying or whatever fucking God has put in the air is fucking up all the airplanes. This is when people choose to believe that airplanes can fly through anything. They choose to, on a snowy day, they want to call a pizza man and think that he's safe, that he drives a tank. So during the holidays, everybody books flights on Thanksgiving and on Christmas and all those times between. These are the worst times to fly because it's the worst fucking fly weather, and they get all fucking mad because they didn't get to their fucking place. I've had it a billion times, and I recorded one night all of them that happened. All night, the flights were canceled, so I was picking up people from the airport and driving them to the closest hotels. They couldn't go anywhere. Everybody had a different attitude about it. Everybody was in the same boat. They all got fucked in Denver. But it wasn't just Denver. People were fucked in Dallas. People were fucked in Chicago. Everybody was just fucked. Why do you buy a fucking airplane ticket at a fuck time? Fuckheads. This is every year, fuckheads. Every year. Thousands and thousands. The worst time to travel is when? Thanksgiving. But yet, that's when you guys choose to do it. Why don't you just meet the next week or the week before? It's always Thanksgiving. Even in Colorado, it rarely snows for Christmas, but it always snows on Thanksgiving. Typically around that time. For sure. I know that because it's my birthday and it's my daughter's birthday, and our birthdays blow in the mile high. Blowing cold air up our ass. Really, just trying to say that. So these people, everybody has a different one. So then, I recorded them. There was one lady, they were psychotic, and they were going to go rent a car and drive themselves to Nebraska in a snowstorm that a plane can't get through. They're going to drive on the floor through it. They're above the storm and can't get through it, but you're going to drive straight through. Okay, good luck to you. God bless you on your never-ending venture to get to Nebraska. There's that person. Then there's the person freaking out because she's not at home, for her kids. Hey, bro, Christmas comes tomorrow. I mean, you're putting all this, the day goes on. You're just mad because you're not part of the day. And you're mad that you can't make this airplane get you home so you could be part of your Christmas. But everybody across America is missing Christmas right now. How do you feel about that? I'm seeing this one couple, it wasn't Christmas. They had planned a trip. It was a bucket list trip. They had planned a trip, I think, to like Australia. It's in my videos again. They had planned a trip, and they had a connecting flight here in Colorado. They mixed their connecting flight because of weather, and it would have been impossible to finish this trip. Why? Because of how they had it planned out on such a tight itinerary. They would have, the flight itself was, anywhere from, I don't know, 15 to 20 fucking hours to get where they were going over to Europe. And then they had everything planned. But if they shifted it all, they'd only have like 2 or 3 days when they got there, and they wouldn't be able to do it. So they had to cancel their entire trip and spend their vacation here in Denver instead. They had planned a trip somewhere to Europe, spent all this money to go to Europe, and got rerouted to Denver. Luckily, they'd never been here before, so there was plenty for them to do. But that's not what they planned, bro. They spent money, time, dreaming about this. And they were cool about it. Well, I've never been to Denver. We're gonna take in Denver. Really? Then there's the people that are panicking because they don't want to catch, the next morning flight. I picked you up at 11. They've got you on a 6:00 flight and you're flipping out. Should I have left you at the airport so you could have been more comfortable about this? Why are you being such an asshole? That's what I mean. Shit happens to all of us. And some people, dude, they can handle it so swell that they look like masters of our world. And they're not even bothered that it happened to them, but they're actually so unbothered that they can turn and comfort other people when it's happening. That's a solid individual. Really? Mm-hmm. I have those moments, but not always. The inner child in me will panic. And that's where my kids, I love that. My daughter will be like, Mom, calm down. It's not that serious. And that's where it is. One night, when I first got back to Denver, I'm supposed to go and meet Brian at a show. And I don't want to leave them alone. I'm afraid to leave them alone. Why? Well, Chris is drinking and he's got people, and I just don't feel comfortable leaving them alone. And I'm like, I don't know. And my son literally turns to me, says, Mom, we're right here with the altar. We're right here with God. Nothing's going to happen to us. And when he said that, like the bed's right next to the altar, the kids stay in the room, they will not leave the room. When they reminded me that they were in the hands of God, I didn't have to worry. But that's kind of what it is like, you have to learn not to worry so much, to trust, to let go. Really? Yeah, things happen. Shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see this coming. How are you going to react when it happens? Are you going to act a fucking fool because you got wronged or slighted or something, you know what I mean? So, something fucked up your day or your plans? And you're going to take it out on everyone and throw a huge fucking fit? Depends. A lot of people do act a fool. Russ has been known to do this. He did this quite a few times. All honesty, it was my fault. I was fucking with him and, may have canceled a couple of his shows on fun, just having fun. And he flipped out when it happened. He was trying to call crazy people and trying to, going above and beyond. He didn't understand that it just is. The Dallas show he freaked out about. Really? He freaked out about, wasn't there one in Vegas too that he freaked out? Oh, okay, that one happened. He flies out all his family, he has all this shit, and then the shit doesn't go down. And he's like, scrambling, trying to salvage what has just happened instead of just accepting, fuck, guys, sorry. It was a big deal for him to open for Ed Sheeran and Las Vegas after I already told him no and fuck that. So the show got canceled because of technical difficulties. Ed Sheeran said one apology, and that was it. Russ went over and was like, well, I'm trying to find a venue where we could meet up, and we're trying to do this, and I'm so sorry, and I brought all my family out here, and blah, 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 blah. You were trying to hold on to something that fell apart instead of just enjoying what you did have. You didn't have to go. That's a clear sign. You weren't supposed to work tonight. That's what God said. You weren't supposed to work tonight. And you got all your family. You should just sit and, enjoy the day instead of stressing how terrible this is and reading the comments how you let everybody down. Where's that come from? Your mom, who was probably there giving you ugly looks because she didn't get to meet Ed Sheeran. I'm sure that wasn't the ugly look she was giving you. Moving on. Let's see here. Let me see. It's about talking about stories. I'm going to move on. Seeking Fortuna. Nope. Reasons for working with her. Are you prepared for Fortuna? Encountering the dark goddess side will see your world as you know it crash all around you. Yet sometimes your current world is not what you need and what will nurture you. The Wheel of Fortune can deliver gain as well as loss. Fortuna helps you answer the questions of what really matters, what you can and cannot stand to lose. You start to learn this. You will. I don't know. As I say these, guys, how many of you will ever learn this lesson? How many of you will ever learn acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, understanding, kindness, patience, long-suffering, self-control, self-discipline? These are they're lifelong lessons that take a lot of practice, and there's no such thing as perfecting, but it's constant action. It's constant action in all areas of your life to master such things. And as I say this, I'm trying to prepare you for a stage in your life, but nobody can prepare someone to just let go, get over it, and accept it. That's where, the magic in my videos. The magic in my videos is God and me. What God was doing and asking me, but me for my obedience to willingly do such heroic acts with my life, as if my life, like, you know what I mean? Like it didn't matter, but it did. And that's why I was doing such heroic acts. How did this start? God told me to give up my life. I'm right here, and He's about to give me the brand new life. It took all that time, but I can tell you because I didn't learn. I needed all that time to learn these lessons. I wasn't ready for my new life. And that goes back to it. It's like taking old people, old clothes, old memories, old patterns, old behaviors, old anything. The point is to get rid of the old and be new. It means inside and out, fully, fully. A full makeover from the inside out. It takes a long time when you get inside there. It took Carl Jung 6.5 years to master his studies. I don't know if he spent every day like me, just digging through his own thoughts and feelings, or, you know what I mean? He did this professionally where he put in, you know what I mean, 6 to 8 to 12 hours with patients 5 days a week and dug through their feelings. I'm not really sure, that Carl, I'm sure the introduction to the Institute will tell you all about his historic. I'm sure there's you know, some place where you can, they'll play you his whole life story and all this. But it took him, that's a long time. When I look back at myself and I realized that I really caught on to it by after 2 years, and I actually understood the concept of shadow work and healing within a couple of months, and still I understood the concept and started applying it before I even knew that I was what I was fully doing. And that was just it. You know what I mean? Even with song, I understood what it took to write a song. I understood this. You know what I mean? And that's it. Is like I jumped straight in and was getting my hands dirty, you know what I mean? And possibly burning my fingertips without knowing, but at least I was in it. I was going to figure out how to swim. Even if I didn't have floaties, bro. I didn't need, you know what I mean? That's what it was. I was jumping straight into it. And that's the beauty in me. I can look back and I guess I've always downplayed this and people call me fearless. It's like, no, you don't understand. I was so scared. I was so scared. I was so scared. I could have been all kinds of scared, and that doesn't matter. All that matters is the outcome of how obedient I was. But I want you to understand that the fear never left. I was crying, I was shaking, I was worried, I didn't know. I'm going against my mind. Everybody outside of me, and even my mind, knows that what I'm doing is not what people do. And you're not supposed to live like this, but there's a voice inside of me that's telling me to do such things, and I'm doing it terrified, fearfully, obediently. They should always show you, an obedient servant of Christ is a happy, happy about it. And that's why I said, I do what I'm supposed to, but I do fuss. I make a lot of noise while I'm doing this. Sorry, I had a dirty image in my head. Um, Moving on. Let me rewind from that. Somebody just popped a fucking dirty image in the middle of my fucking my fucking spiel right there. Every day there is that voice inside of us. You have it as much as I did. I listened to it. As scary as it was. Like, oh shit, my spirit just asked me to do something crazy. I'm getting ready to do something crazy. I don't wait long enough. The longer I wait, the scareder I get. Really? No. I have to accept what I got to do, not argue it, just accept it. Because the longer I wait, I'm trying to find a way out of it. Just do it. Nike, just do it. That's another goddess, by the way. Same one, blindfold of fate and justice.
They got that slogan from a samurai who was about to die.
They got it from a goddess because everything good comes from women. Oh, I'm lying? Where'd you come from? Your mother. So when people are out there telling you how great you are, say thank you. Thank my mother.
Do you think your mother?
Yeah, actually. Sure. Hey, dude, you and I are much like her, and probably Erin too. Not so much Mary. She's very. Ugh.
Mary's 200 pounds. Did you know that?
Did she tell you that?
She said she's 210 pounds.
Fuck. Really? Damn, that's not good because she's shorter than me.
I know. I was expecting her to be like.
But she don't look fat.
Well, have you seen her?
No, I don't be on her page. Does she look chunky? Don't be making fun of my daughter. She's working fucking 12-hour shifts and eating. All she can do is eat and sleep after she works. How is she supposed to burn that?
I was expecting it because I only
Oh,
think
poor
about when she
baby.
was
Why'd you say
16.
that? And you said it online too. You're like, you just made fun of your sister online.
I wasn't making fun of her. I was
Poor
just telling her.
baby. Well, anyways, she's not a risk taker or anything. She's very calculated. She don't like to take chances, any of that shit. But Aaron will go on a stupid adventure and get himself in trouble, like us. We get that from my mom.
What about me?
We get that from my mom. She was extremely adventurous. Hmm. She was a big ball of fire. When she wasn't raging in fire, she was just a fire. Like fire, bro. My friends, people loved my mom, dude. She was just like me, a life of the party. She was loud and she always was generous and she had great stories and she told great jokes. And I guess, looking back, she was attractive too. She was attractive to everyone too. She wasn't an ugly woman. She had enormous boobs and she put on makeup and she kept her hair pretty and she was attractive. Really larger set, but she had the gastric bypass and then she became very skinny. Skinny Winnie. Really? I didn't know Mary gained all that weight. That can't be good for her self esteem. But I guess when you have a man that loves it, it makes you feel comfortable. But what if he's, oh man, I'm not going to project my insecurities onto my poor baby. Okay, moving on. And that's it too. If you don't have someone outside of you forcing you to hate yourself, then you shouldn't hate yourself. As long as somebody, you know what I mean? Girls don't have to hate their body until somebody they find out that there's something, it's not good enough. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. I'm serious. Her size, there's nothing wrong with it. My ideal size was like 175, 180. That was my ideal size. I look great, super nice and thick. Really? It's not, I don't have nothing hanging off my stomach or anything like that. But as I started to get down even smaller, dude, and got into the 12s, I was like, damn, I just felt like my bones were sticking out. My hip bones were sticking out of my jeans. I didn't like it. You guys want a flat stomach. I wanted to at least have a stomach. I didn't want to look like a bulimia, like I was hungry. Maybe I was. Speaking of which, moving on. Don't forget, we're preparing for a fast. I don't expect that you're going to make it through your first fast on 40 days because you're not me. But I'll tell you the truth. First time I fasted was for 40 days. God who gives me strength, but he also called me to do it. If he calls you to it, he'll give you the strength to get through it. Don't try to do something that he didn't ask you to do because he's not going to help you get through some shit he didn't want you to do to begin with. And that's really what it is. He's not giving you the strength. You're running off of straight fucking pride and ego at this. Really? Watch out now. Reasons for working with Fortuna. She will usher you in the dark night of the soul to test your sense of survival. For the undesired change and loss that it brings can have devastating effects that could throw you into utter turmoil, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. Fortuna teaches you that it's important to create indifference to ensure a future of peace and wholeness. I'm looking back at the biggest miracle, bro. There's some big miracles. But the eviction, I didn't want to leave my house anyways because I came from homelessness and I just didn't want to take a risk of ever happening again. So I never even tried to get a better house. Check. All right. So how I ended up in why the homelessness was so difficult for me is because I had an eviction. I came to Colorado with a pocket full of money, but I couldn't get into a house. I could meet the 3 times the rent, but I didn't have the credit. It was the scarlet fucking letter, bro. I couldn't get into housing. So I literally could only get into low income housing. Really? That fucked me so bad. So when God, you know what I mean, tells me to stop paying my bills, I know an eviction's coming and I'm like, please don't make this happen again. That ruined my life. I spent 10 years getting that off my credit. It takes 10 years to get off your credit. And on top of that, you know what I mean, to rebuild my credit. I got my credit almost to it was like in the 720s, dude. Seriously, I was building it up so I could take out loans for my music career. This was not cool, bro. I was so scared of it. And then you look at it, it never hit, bro. The eviction is not on my credit at all. My biggest fear was that. My biggest fear was ending up homeless in my car. All my biggest fears. All my biggest fears, bro. I had to face them head on. And I don't think I wasn't scared while I was facing them. You're not any less scared when you're facing this. It's just you get over it because you've already faced it. And that's how you realize how strong you were. Really? Mm-hmm. God asked me to do things that nobody would even think about doing. And I was terrified to do it. Everybody just thought I was being brave. I wasn't. They thought I was crazy. Well, that makes far more sense. Let's move on. When change happens, the concept of change is usually avoided and excuse me, they want me to point out this. I am not reading this. These are deep, in-depth chapters. I am literally jumping around. I read a paragraph out of here. I read a paragraph over here. Just read this paragraph, and now we're jumping over here. We are not reading all of this. You need to get the book, but be careful. I always say this book should come with a fucking warning. Your life is going to fall apart once you read it. Just kidding. Well, it was in the second chapter. My life started completely falling apart. Let's see. Preparing for Fortuna. What do you got to do? You may have subconsciously called her. We don't care about what made her come in. Let's just talk about what we do now that she's here. Do the following to honor her. Place a wheel of fortune above your doorway to represent the unpredictable change of the future and luck and fate. Be virtuous in your decision making. I've been talking about that. I made a huge rant and rave about weak men that can't make up their mind and can't stand behind what they think. Play cards or gamble with no concern for the outcome. As soon as I got this card, I went up and got me another lotto ticket. Really? It's part of the game. You have to. You'll never win if you don't play. Fill a cornucopia with fruit, bread, flowers for gratitude for her and for her horn of plenty. Here we go. We are supposed to be making an offering for the new moon. And now for fate, we are going to be adding, what did I tell you? I didn't add flowers. I gave up my flowers that they gave me to the last offering for the full moon. I need some new flowers. Manifesting flowers. Really? I'd rather manifest than buy. Do you see how I say manifesting instead of I'm going to go buy? Manifesting means I'm open to receive. That's all that means. Really? Carry a coin to ensure Lady Luck is on your side. Remember the story? I told you I found a quarter, and it was from 1992 inside of here, and I knew that stood out to me. Why? How lucky are you to find money in a homeless fucking shelter? It's like finding water in the desert. Wear a blindfold to ensure your intuition or to enhance your intuition and release favoritism. Observe the cycles of time in the wheel of the zodiac. Where are we in the zodiac? I don't know. We went Capricorn, Taurus. I don't know. Where are we? Trust blindly in outcomes. Go with the flow and release attachment. Altar offerings. A citrine, clear quartz, green aventurine, honey. I have my honey right there. Milk, poppies. I have some. Sorry, I'm about to burp. Round cakes, fortune cookies. I knew it. Fortune cookies. How long have you had that? A long time. When's the last time you saw me have Chinese food? Really? That long? A handful of grain, a blindfolded figurine of Fortuna, they want me to show you in the light goddesses, Jesus, a representation of the wheel of fortune, coins, and a money jar. Really? And then they have the invocation, which I probably did but didn't mean to. Again, it would be something like I use lemongrass incense and shit like this. Really? I always end up doing these without knowing. What is this? Listen to this. There's eviction. I saw it right here. Fortuna announces herself with huge change, sudden upheavals, and genuine loss that may induce a dark night of the soul. You will know her dark energy is near if you encounter redundancy, debt recovery, eviction, an end of a relationship, betrayal, poor health, an accident, a loss of limb. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I was thinking about Bobby. Do you know how we ended up seeing each other that day? I thought about it. I was like, Jesus Christ, God did this. No, it was Fortuna. He said, how did he get off work that early? Because his coworker lost his ear. That's what he told me. He said, we got off early because there was an accident at work and my coworker lost his ear. I had to cover for him. I was like, well, if you made it out with both ears, I guess you're better than him. Realistically, he told me how he'd been fucked up already so many times at his job. Fuck. That's scary. Be careful out there, buddy. Wear protection. I'm sorry, that's scary. A break-in, bad news, a death in the family of a family member, a friend, or a pet, and a pandemic. All of these are signs of Fortuna. Really? And I told you I felt the death. Really? Yes. You will choose to, or will you choose to hang on to the drama and the unexpected, to be slave to your emotions, or will you choose to experience pure contentment 24/7? I'm not. That's what today showed you. That's where I get to see is I'm not always peaceful. I'm human. I'm human. And when shit goes fucking crazy, I don't go crazy, but I do still get emotional about it. That's what I said. How did you act today when that happened? I acted pretty okay, but I still cried, which was true to my authentic feelings. I couldn't hold in the fact that I was very upset about this. I did not curse anyone out. I did not say anything mean like that. I felt that I went too far when I called the health department, but Jazz told me, she's like, you told me that. And then somebody else told me they reported them today too for the same shit. I was like, you sure it wasn't B listening to my video? Or maybe it was me too plus one. Just kidding. I'm talking shit. But that's what I said. I'm not the only one, bro. I'm just the first one to be brave enough. And that's what it is. And so I had said that to her. But I thought I went too far by that. I started with that, bro. I didn't even give her a chance to tell me what she was going to do to fix it. I took my kid and I was like, fuck them. And I called the health department. Then I came in and said, now what are you going to do about this? I set him up. But at the same time, somebody should have done something about this before. And that's the truth. When we pass over, we take with us our emotions and feelings, which is why it's so important to be peaceable. Why does it say peaceable? Should have been peaceful. Really? It says peaceable. Europeans. Don't hold on to anything you wouldn't want to spend an eternity with. Learn to forgive and let go of obsessions and worries. And that's it. You sit there in your quiet spaces, and that's where you sit with your regrets, your embarrassments, your shames, your missed opportunities, the Six of Cups, your nostalgia, your I wishes, and I wish it, and I wish it was, and I wish it wasn't. Here's your journal work. Consider what change in your life is unavoidable, and make a list in your journal of the natural changes in your life. Ask yourself if you are embracing these changes, and if so, how. Write down what comes to mind. And that's it. How are you handling this? That's all you got to ask yourself. How are you handling the changes that are happening in your life right now? Are you handling it, or are you getting handled by the change? Change is constant. You've got to learn to be adaptable to it. All different types of things happen. And again, I want to show you that she'll bless you, but you got to understand, you know what I mean? Every blessing, that's just it, is you could be all the way up, but you could be all the way down. You got to understand this. It's not preferential treatment. It's just a lesson to be learned. And that's, all praises to God. We praise God when we're up. We praise God when we're down. When I'm doing really good, it's not praising me. It's praising God. When I'm doing really bad, it's not my fault. It's God's fault. Well, when you give all control to the higher source, then that's where you put your complaints. I can't blame me when I'm only listening to you. This was you. And then you realize he wouldn't harm you. So then what was he trying to show you? It's like, why you keep bringing in these pathetic ass, fucked up ass, broken ass, want to hurt my ass type men? I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to bring you men to love you. Why would you think that this is a good fit for me? Oh, dig a little deeper, why don't you? And that's it. He was trying to be nice, and you're spitting in his face. You don't understand the lesson upon you. Why'd you? And that goes back to it. Me having to bust open my car. The fuck was that about? Just to say I went through it. Fight a fear. I'd never been through some shit like that. That was even going back, getting me stranded on that. Bro, I'm telling you, I knew it. I knew with full certainty that my car was going to get stuck in the snow if I tried to drive up that mountain. But my spirit says, go, hit the gas, go. I don't know. It didn't even let me up like 2 houses, bro. I was still on the main street. I didn't get up that hill at all. My mind knew I wasn't going to make it, but my spirit told me to. And then I'm stuck in the snow Why did my spirit tell me to do this stupid shit when my mind knew not to do this? I knew not to do this, right? That's where you have to sit. Stop panicking. I panicked on that mountain. I panicked for the first hour. I did everything to get my car out of that snow. But keep in mind, I didn't know what to do. I had to do something. I wasn't going to just sit in my car and cry. I tried everything till my feet were fucking burning and my fingertips were frozen. And then I got in my car and cried. And I cried, and finally the Holy Spirit said, "Call for help." And everybody, I could feel this thing. Why didn't you call for help sooner? Because I thought I could get myself out of the situation that God put me in. Listen to that. I thought I could get myself out of the situation that God put me in. But I couldn't. I needed God to get me out of it. He got me in it. I needed him to get me out. So I sat there. I have no phone service. And I see it, but I dial 911. And somebody picks up. And I'm crying. And I said, I got my car stuck in the snow. I have no idea where I am. I'm on a dirt road. And I just need some help. I'm freaking out and it's getting dark. And they're like, all right, hold on. We're gonna use GPS to locate you. And they were able to locate my phone through GPS. They said, you're in Garfield County. We're gonna send some sheriffs up to come find you and we'll see what we can do from there. And I'm like, thank God. So then I breathe. Somebody's coming to get me. I'm not alone. I'm not going to die on this mountain. I'd never been stuck in the snow. And I'm pretty sure any person that ever has that feeling. Nobody's going to find me. I'm going to die out here. I need to pee. I don't have no gas. I just want to get home. Why did this happen to me? How am I ever going to get home? Really? Yeah. And so it was terrifying. And then, the police come. And I'm sitting there, I'm covered in witchcraft. I had just bought all this witchcraft. I've been smoking joint after joint. I'm stuck there. I'm burning sage. I look like a maniac. And they're like, what are you doing here? I have no alibi. I was just wandering. My Holy Spirit told me to check out what was up here. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no alibi as to what the fuck I was doing there. And they're like, well, it happens all the time. We're going to see if we can pull you out. They had a thing on their car that they pulled me out. They hooked it around my car and they pulled me off the fucking hill. And then I told them there was another guy, which happened during that time. Halfway through panicking, some guy comes down the hill. He's got rosy red cheeks and he's wearing a Florida Gators hoodie. And he's like, you're stuck? I was like, yes. He's like, so are we. I was like, we? He said, yeah, me and my girlfriend are up there. We're stuck. And he's got a much better car. He's done this before and he can't get out. He's like, well, I'm going to go down and see if I can get some help. So at that time, I'm still digging my car out, but I believe that someone else is going to find some help. He comes back with a 6-pack of fucking beer. Are you serious? Yeah, he said he talked to someone, which was an insurance broker, and he was going to reach out and send somebody up for us. And he offered me a beer. I was like, no, I don't want one. So the guy was cool. He was going to go back, hang out with his girl, drink a 6-pack, and wait for help. He knew help was coming, but I still didn't. I didn't believe it, not fully. And sure enough, the police knew there was another person up there. He's like, all right, well, we got calls. There's another person up there. I was like, I saw him. He came down. He's like, yeah, we're going to go try to help him get down. What were we doing up there? I don't know. But apparently God's spirit told both of us idiots to go up that mountain. He had a better chance than I did. Really? Yeah. Let me say that again. Stop trying to get yourself out of what God put you in. He's going to bring you out. He's your only way out. He's the only reason you're there to begin with. That goes back to Bobby. Bro, it's God. Quit fucking with me. Quit fucking with me. The only reason I'm fucking with you is because God keeps telling me to. Really? I mean, really though. I don't just be like, you know what? I just miss Bobby and I just want to talk to Bobby and I just love Bobby. Maybe somewhere inside of me. Realistically, not on the surface. It comes to the surface quite quickly if I give into it. And that's why I was like, oh, don't let this shit come up to the surface. I used to be like that about Russ. Let me brush your hair, Russ. Ew, he used to talk like that to. Oh God, he really hated it when I talk like that to Ellie. I want to teach you how to swim, Ellie. What's wrong with you? I don't know. Love, it's a little dangerous in there. All right, going back to your journal work. Make another list of anything you feel is holding you back from moving forward. What could you easily let go of, and which things in your life would be you have you would find hard to let go of? Make a final list of everything in your life that serves your highest purpose, including people. Who are the deadbeats? Who raises your vibration when you think of them? And that's what I mean too. There's certain people. I told Janine that the other day. I was like, Janine, I fucking love you, bro. Just your presence. I was like, when I come down in the morning and I see you and you smile at me, you change my day. Anytime we cross eyes, you smile, I smile, and it gives me a good vibe. Just keep being you, dude. And that's what I mean about Brian. I don't need to possess you, bro, but just the world needs more of people like you out there. You know what I mean? Coming in contact with a person like you always makes my life, makes my day better. You kind of do want to spend more time with people like that make you feel good. But knowing that I'm one of those people and how people suffocate me, I try not to do it to others. Really? Nah. I'd like to hang out with you, but I don't want to suffocate you. Mm, really? Yeah. Before I know it, I'll be trauma dumping you. Tips for coping with change. Sometimes you get so caught up in fighting change that you put off dealing with it, thus stunting your growth and prolonging the undesired situation. Denial is an extremely powerful force that protects you in many ways. Although it plays a part in the journey through the dark night of the soul, it does not always serve your higher purpose to ignore and avoid that which will transform you. Those who cope best with this change adapt faster and more effectively when enjoying the ride. So, how can you most effectively cope with the change? I'm seeing this download. I'm driving through Las Vegas on what I think is a trip to San Diego. Only when I leave Las Vegas and I'm in the middle of the fucking desert, in the middle of fucking nowhere, Mary Jane says, "No, you ain't coming down here." She doesn't say it mean like that or nothing, but respectively, "No, mom. No, you can come. The kids can come stay, but you're not staying with me, mom." And I'm like, well, fuck you. Really? I mean, I was pretty hurt by it. But at this point, now I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just heading west on I 70. Where the fuck am I going? Oh, no, we're not on 70 yet. You don't catch 70 till out of Las Vegas. So we're still on 15. Really? I know my freeways. Yeah? Yeah, buddy. So I'm like, I'm like, and I turned to my kids and I'm like, because she was on speakerphone, she heard that they heard the whole conversation. Like, I don't know, guys. We're just gonna keep going to California, bro. And if until we get to the beach, we'll figure it out. God told us to go this way. We're going this way. And within a little bit of time, um, I don't know. I talked to my brother, and then my brother talked to my sister in the Bay. My sister in the Bay just talked to me. She's like, she's done with her school year. She's out for 2 weeks. She's like, I'm on vacation. Why don't you can come up here for a minute? And this is a big deal. I haven't talked to her since the family fallout. And she's inviting me, my two children, and my dog. And this is another thing too. I don't know if you know how black people are about dogs. If they don't own one, they don't fuck with them. Really? And she let me bring my dog in the house. Hey, did you know that's your dead mother? Haha. Totally failed to tell her that one, as I had my dog tied to her couch. Really? The whole time, bro. I had to make sure she was comfortable. I didn't let the dog move around her house the whole time. She had enough room just to crawl up on the couch and down. She doesn't do much anyways. It wasn't like I was being mean. It's not like a big dog or anything. Most people put their fucking big dogs in kennels all day while they're at work and shit so they don't tear up the house. Bro, you better put them in the backyard and let them run all fucking day chasing squirrels or something. That's just mean. My dog, nah, bro, I told you. I left her with my dad for a whole week when I went to Florida. He said all she did was exactly what she does at home. She crawls under the blankets and sleeps at the foot of the bed. She just sleeps all day. She ain't doing shit. No, and if you take her outside, she just wants to smell some shit. She don't really want to walk nowhere or nothing. She just following her nose. So, anyways, going back to that, I didn't know where I was going, and then all of a sudden I did. You just have to cope with it. You just have to be like, all right, don't panic, don't freak out, don't, something will come through. Not right away, but when one door closes, another will open. If you let the door close, if you're sitting there, you know what I mean, pounding at it and putting your head in between the door and the fucking wall, well, this isn't going to work out so well for you. Really? Yeah. All right, so this is a whole stage. The next stage is worse than that. Whoa, somebody's at my door. Hold on 1 second. Oops, I turned off the wrong thing. Apologies. Again, just a huge shift in the fuck. That's Fortuna. She's like, the people for laundry are going to be here in 40 minutes. You didn't tell me that. I have 40 minutes to get all this shit together. I mean, it is together, but what the fuck are you telling me? So then the next thing is, hold on a second. Where's my laundry? You're going to bring it back into the room before the room's treated? We're going to get the laundry done tonight and bring it back in here? Or what are we doing now? See what I mean? Fortuna. Change. Stay calm. Stay calm. Whatever we're doing, we'll just deal with it, and we'll deal with it as it comes. Really? I tried to show you. The next stage is Baba Yaga, which is an initiation of self-sufficiency. When I get into my home by myself, I have to survive on my own again. But I'm not alone. That's the good part. Is learning that you're not alone, that your strongest companion is spirit, God's Holy Spirit, and it can be there with you, and you can work on it and lean on it, and you know what I mean? So you're not working alone. Really? I got to figure out what I got to do. If I need to go find, I can hear all these people running around with fucking carts. I got to figure out if I got to cart all my shit and get it outside right away. Really? I don't know. It just happened. Got to go. Love yous. Laters. Good luck with the change. Bye-bye. Don't tell me